What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Arccway, a new direction of the modern man. So today's video, I am going to be sharing you guys the truth about fossil watches. This is my truth. This is my actually maybe 3 to 4 years of owning a fossil watch and owning many fossil watches, but predominantly this watch, the Grant Fossil watch. One thing I'll say about this watch is that if this is your first time seeing this video, go back to my original video talking about the review of it, or go to my other videos regarding fossil watches, because I reviewed many fossil watches before, and this video is not about bashing Fossil as a company. This video is about the truth of a fossil watch from my experience. So when it comes down to this video, I want to express my truth about the fossil watches. Not saying Fossil is a bad brand, I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking about what happens within the fossil watches throughout time. So, like many things in life, it obviously deteriorates, they break down, things go wrong. So I'm going to share some insights, some of my experience of owning the Grant Chronological watch, and just trying to show you guys what I've been through with this watch and what you guys can prepare for. So when I first bought this watch, it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Graduated college, I gifted myself with a watch, something I wanted, a piece that would actually emphasize a lot about character. I wanted something to emphasize a lot about maturity, and this was one watch I actually really gravitated to by Fossil. So if you're interested in this type of watch review, you actually can check out my old video on that, or actually I can just make a new one on this so you guys can get the heads up about it. But I have tons of other fossil watch reviews that are way up to date within this past 3 years, actually within this past year, so you guys can definitely check out those videos regarding fossil watches. It'll be up there. But most importantly, we're going to get into this fossil watch right now. So the truth about fossil watch, let's start. So one thing I'll talk about with this fossil watch is I'll start with the band. So for the band, I replaced this band probably about 3 times so far. So the first time I can recall, the band straps broke. So these band straps right here, they kind of broke off, and one was missing, and it was a lot more harder to tighten the watch on your wrist, because it's better to have the 2 straps for more security. But with the lack of one band, it was always flapping off, so I had it often hanging off like that. There's always a bit of a band width hanging out, and I kind of like would draw against the clothes or whatever, and frankly it gets annoying, right? So I replaced the band a few times. Fossil generous to definitely replace the band for free in a store. There's been times where I had to purchase a new band. This was actually the most recent band I purchased, was for like $35, and I changed it in store, or you can just change it for yourself. Just click on a button on the end here, and it just literally pops off. So that experience alone was alright. Initially, I remember one of the original bands of it really broke down over time, especially on the grit of the face of the band. It was very wear down, but yeah, keep in mind, I'll tell you the experience, I'll tell you where I wore it, but on the back of it, it was all rubber, so it kind of stayed, but the maturity of the fabric, or the maturity of the leather, it kind of just broke down, but it added character in a good sense, but it was actually a lighter tone than this. So one thing I'll say about the bezel, just around the cat face of the eye, is that it's scratched up a lot. I dropped this watch many times 5 years ago, I'm 21. So I was going through a lot in a sense of maturity and growth, that even with a fossil watch, I wasn't too keen on keeping, clean and like prestige. But I often, through times, it was always dropped a lot, banged up against the wall, or whatever the case is. So it does have a lot of markings on the outer side, and that's something you can fix, or if anyone does know how to fix, definitely drop a comment. But yeah, that can be polished off. That is not a big concern. Watches do get to that degree. So I'll say from there, The most important thing is the battery life. And I experienced some fog in the face as well. I used to wear watches a lot going into the showers. Sometimes I was quite confident about doing it. Sometimes I wasn't. I wasn't sure if the face would actually fog up within this watch throughout time, and luckily it didn't. From my experience of 4 to 5 years with this watch, it didn't fog up. So that is actually very nice to know. I'll say from there, one thing I'll say off the bat is the battery life. So the battery life is probably the main concern of this video. It's talking about how long this battery actually will last you. And the fact is, me kind of growing, as I kind of grow, I want something that I don't have to worry about the watch battery. And it's kind of interesting to know that it kind of gets annoying when you have to replace it, because it kind of takes up time of your day. It just takes up it's another thing to do. You just don't want that on your plate. So when it comes down to the battery life, so the battery died about twice now. I have taken this sent it into the Fossil Watch location headquarters. I don't remember if it was in Toronto or Montreal, but I sent it off before. And then they replaced the battery. No, okay, let me scratch that. Another experience I had with a Fossil Watch was a cracked face. So I dropped this watch before, as I was saying, very young. You know, when you're young, things happen. So I broke the face by accident, sent it off to the Fossil headquarters. They charged me a certain, I think it was a free. I don't remember if it was free or not. No, it wasn't, definitely not. It wasn't free. Was it free? I don't remember. I should check on the Fossil website right now and just find out if the face was free, but they replaced it for me. It took about 30 days. That's something that was annoying about replacing the battery. That was something annoying about replacing the face of this. So all in all, at least they're generous to do that enough, and I appreciate that. And actually sending me a complete new watch. So I've been through a lot with this watch. As I start reflecting, I've been through so much, because this wasn't even the original watch at one point. This is actually a replacement because my old one was so banged up and the screen, the face broke, and I got it replaced, and it was quite nice of them to do that. But most importantly, the battery life as well. So the battery life will last you, I will say, from my experience, the battery life lasts me about 3.5 years. No, actually the battery life, since I got the new face of this watch, since I got the newer edition of this watch, meaning the replacement, the battery life lasts me about 3 strong years. At this moment in time, it's completely dead, and I didn't replace it at all. So this is one of the things I'm talking to you guys about. So not only did it last you about 3 years, it's quite a good length of amount of time, but as you get older, you want something a little more mature, in the sense you don't have to worry about your battery life, or you want something more developed in automatic if you're into those, or getting into automatics. So I just wanted to share with you guys my review about the Fossil Watch based on my experience of having it for the last 5 years. So if that's valuable content for you guys, just make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a comment most importantly, and hit the notification bell to get the latest content updates on Arccway, because I'll be dropping videos. If you are interested in the Fossil Watches, make sure to check out the link down below. I'll be putting a link so you guys can purchase Fossil Watches from the website, and also purchase some precautions as well, where you can get extra bands down the road and any more accessories. And also, one thing I really lacked when I got my Fossil Watch and not taking consideration was the fact that a case was needed. So if you are trying to get into Fossil Watches, or you're looking into getting into watches, get yourself a collection case, because that way you can keep all your watches like clean, you can keep them fresh, and you don't have to go through the experiences I have been through.